All right. Hi, guys. It's me again, Ashley. Um, Let me get started. Being objective and honest in history, in some cases, is easier said than done. I mean, history was written by the winners, and we all know that means the stories are filled with exaggerations and dramatic poses. When studying the past, however, it's important that we are aware how we observe people and the decisions they make in the context in which they occurred. As we look into the past, we have to remain open to finding new things even if it means our perspective or outlook on certain events has changed. As historians, our job is to look at the past as it was, even if it's ugly or maybe it's forgotten. Let's take a look at the American Revolution, for example. My grandfather used to say that boys fought battles and men fought wars. But what about the women? As I've studied historical events of the past, I'm always surprised to see how women have been able to make small impressions that have these lasting effects though we don't really discuss them in our classrooms. For example, let's talk about Catherine Moore Barry, born Margaret Catherine Moore, and later to be known as Kate Barry. She is one of the infamous ladies that are never really mentioned when discussing the Revolutionary War. Her legend goes as follows. She is believed to have tied her toddler to the bedpost while she rode out to warn the neighbors about the British army that was advancing in her wonderful state of South Carolina. Since she knew all the Indian trails pretty well, she was able to notify all the militia forces that the army was approaching and that the British commander was General Cornwallis. This was an amazing thing for her to know all this information. So she did what any woman did. She told her husband and went out and warned all of her neighbors, of course. She was later used as a scout and a spy by General Morgan, who was the commander of the American forces in South Carolina. It was not unusual to believe that Morgan turned to Kate for help, and she was able to, in even one case, go out ride through the neighborhood, and gather all these different men to fight for him and fight for the patriot cause. It was also with her help, that General Morgan was able to even lay a trap for General Cornwallis. And this trap helped, let's say, assisted George Washington into capturing the retreating British and even Cornwallis in Yorktown, Virginia. This very strong woman is not really mentioned. However, in Spartanburg County, South Carolina, her heroineness is seen throughout the hills. The heroine of the Battle of Cowpens is how she is known. She's known to play this pivotal role, but we don't talk about in the classroom. Now, she might not have the same level of that same level of awareness, say, that people know as Martha Washington or Abigail Adams, but we shouldn't forget that it's these small, infamous people that still played a huge role in how we shaped our country. When studying the past, knowing names like Kate Barry can really change how we look at the history, as well as how we look at ourselves today in terms of women and gender identification. It's important to know that as historians, we're always honest in telling the true story of history, even if it means being a spy.